Well, good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome again on this Thursday evening to our virtual concert series, which this week sees us do another dual affair where we have the boarding houses of Hilton and Mertens House. Now, before we jump to any conclusions, this is very much a joint effort, despite the fact that when we do our little pre-concert interview, you'll notice there might be a slight bias towards one house. However, it can be confirmed that no one from Hilton House was around and available for comment. That sounds like something that Boris Johnson would say, doesn't it? Anyway, let's get away from politics. I've got here with me, obviously, some things stay consistent. Gerald the cat, he has been one shining light, certainly, during this lockdown. But of course, for him, every day is a lockdown. But he's still here on Thursdays to watch all the peoples perform. And it's been great this afternoon because I've managed to catch up with not only the head of house, Patrick, but we've managed to Skype in to Ollie in year 10, and of course Mr. King, the housemaster of Mertens House. So just before we start the concert, we're going to have a quick chat with these three to see how they're getting on. So I suppose, guys, the first thing is how are we all enjoying the lockdown? Ollie, how's it going?
Not too bad for me. I don't go out much anyway, so it's just an excuse to do more constructive things in my times. So
that's a very honest approach, straight up. Fantastic. How about you, Patrick? How are you doing? Are you in Germany?
Yeah, I am in Germany right now. I'm a bit like Ollie. I don't really go out that much. So yeah, I guess I've just been trying to use my time productively.
How's it been in Germany? There's been obviously a lot of press over here. I'm not going to go any further about the situation in Germany, but I think you guys have got it under control.
Yeah, I think it's fine. People are pretty much living life normally.
Fantastic. And how about you, Mr. King? How are you? Where are you, Mr. King?
We're in Mertens. I'm in the office still. I haven't left in 3 months. I'm still typing away at ISAMs. So we're still in Mertens, and we're happily sort of plodding along, getting lots of early nights, not moaning at any children. So it's been okay. It's been weird, but okay.
Fantastic. And what's the just while you're there, what's the Ardingly community like? Are there many staff there at school?
Yeah, there are actually. It's sort of all the boarding staff are around. Some of the senior managers and some of the younger ones as well. So we sort of have the odd socially distanced coffee at times as well. So it's actually been for the staff community. I think it's brought sort of staff closer together, actually.
And it's a beautiful setting, isn't it? The school that we work in, the peoples attend. So that side of things is obviously majestic during obviously the lockdown period, but it's always much better, of course, when the peoples are there. Ollie, back to you. What have you been up to? Anything that you wouldn't normally do because you've got a bit more time on your hands?
Yes, I have, to be honest. I've been doing more like jobs around the house. This morning I've been putting up a fence. Just because I have time, and running I've done a lot more of because there's no excuse not to. So
yeah, and you're obviously a keen footballer, so you get ahead maybe for the pre-season next year.
That's the idea, if possible. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Patrick, how about you? In terms of have you sort of in your role as sort of head of the house, have you been able to sort of pass on any advice to others during this completely unprecedented situation?
I think it was at the beginning of this term that I sort of talked to everyone in a call over, and the main idea was, I guess, and this counts for me as well, of course, was use the time productively. You won't get that much time at home where you're sort of forced to sit around possibilities of doing something that you'll be thankful for in a couple months' time, I guess. So the main point is just if you want to get fitter, you have the chance to do that. If you want to get ahead of your studies, for example, you have the chance to do that. So that's basically all of the advice that I gave people.
Yeah, to use the time as to your own end, isn't it? The idea of self-reflection as well, and self-improvement. And how about you, Mr. King? I mean, sort of, what have you missed during this time?
What do I miss? Well, I haven't missed late nights, as I said. I haven't missed sort of moaning at pupils, but I have missed structure. As the boys know, I am one for structure, and I find I like to be busy. I like to be doing something the whole time. I'm very, very bad at sitting down and doing nothing. So I've missed the structure. That said, I've taken gardening's sort of gone quite well so far this lockdown. The other thing I have missed has been school food, because I'm the chef at home and I enjoy cooking. But I'm reaching my limit now, and I certainly have missed some school food. So Mrs. Davis normally looks after us very well there, and I'm missing out on that.
I'm just going to drop in a plug there as well. Surely you've missed bowling to Mr. Stafford in the nets.
Yeah, just especially the one that just nips back. I mean, it would have been
Absolutely.
glorious, wouldn't it? This season would have been glorious. We've not had a drop of rain. I think the second 11 probably would have been unbeaten, and it would have been wonderful. But yeah, it's typical that this is the summer that we don't get any rain.
For those of you, I'm just going to make an honest assessment. Mr. King got me out LBW first ball last season. First ball he ever bowled to me, as he says there, nipped down the wicket. And yeah, Patrick's going to nod his head pretending. Although I did read an interesting article, actually. That's one thing I've been doing. I've been trying to read the newspaper a bit more. Cricket in Germany, massively on the up. And it's actually happening at the moment. Anyway, I digress, as I normally do. Let's go back to Ollie then. What sort of... Patrick talked about the house and how you're getting on. How are you guys sort of staying in touch?
I think the biggest thing over this quarantine's been our like house activities. We have things like fitness clubs. We've had a book club, which the pupils run, and that's been really good for checking in with people, as well as the callovers. We've had a few like musical performances or drama performances. So I think it's those callovers where we all sort of come back together and share something or all have a chat. As well, one of the things we did was the video for Sports Day, like the Pass the Ball Challenge. We had a little competition between the years, so that was really good. Getting in touch with all the people in our year, organising something like that was really good fun.
Yeah, I think that's something that's happened in all the. I know Hilton have been doing that as well, you know, and it goes back to what Mr. King said about structure. You have that kind of regular contact, and it's something that starts your day, which is really important, not just sort of getting out of bed and going, what am I going to do? Yeah, and let's move on to a bit more about sort of music and that side of things. Patrick, let's start with you. I'm going to put you in the deep end here. Have you been listening to anything that you'd suggest?
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to be a bit open-minded, right? So I've been listening to some older music, mostly Queen actually, because I like Queen. But who doesn't? But I've also been listening to some of the music that I guess, or I assume Mr. King and you, Mr. Safford, wouldn't like as much, which is the new rap.
Excellent.
So yeah, I guess now is the time to just sort of figure out if you like something you haven't listened to. But
absolutely.
I can't really recommend anything.
Just to be curious, absolutely. And Ollie, just on music for you, what have you been doing? Because you have a singing lesson, don't you, as well?
I do. I sing and guitar. So
of course, yeah.
Yeah, I've had 2 lessons, and I have a lot more time to practice and just do things that I like on my own, which is nice. Sort of in my room when I want to get away from my family, which is quite a lot. There's also this concert, of course. Getting in touch, I was doing something with Jack, so for us to get in contact with each other, sort things out and sort of experiment, which is something I've never really done before and also wouldn't have had the time. So I've been doing actually a lot more than normal.
Yeah, it's a really nice idea. You and Ollie, you and Jack, of course, performing together, which is a first for our virtual concert, actually. So looking forward to that a little bit later on, which will be great. And just on this sort of music idea, if we just go to Mr. King quickly, you know, sort of, what's your view on kind of the arts and I suppose I'm going to be specific to music during this lockdown? You know, is it something that you guys have sort of pushed to the boys?
Music is look. I'm not the musical talent in my family is with my wife. Unfortunately, she's a musician. She plays piano wonderfully. I unfortunately don't, and probably actually before I came here, I didn't really have the confidence to get involved in music because I'm not a natural. But some of the things they might talk about in a bit, things like gents choir, sort of gave me the confidence to do that. And I've started enjoying music an awful lot more. I listen to music a lot. It's wonderful for letting out frustration after those brief disagreements in the household or in the background when you're sort of pottering in the garden. So I mean, I've found it very, very therapeutic. And you know, we're very big on music in house. and music for all abilities. It doesn't matter whether you're, Ollie O'Regan or Timmy Esan or Mark Wang. It sort of doesn't make a difference, all the way down to Mr. King and Mr. Hussein, who are very much at the bottom. It's about getting involved and giving things a go, and we really enjoy it in house.
Yeah, fantastic. And that gents choir, is that something you've been doing, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, most of us have been doing that. It was mainly made up of Mertens boys. I think a couple Hilton boys as well took part in that. It was a big thing for us. Mr. King pushed it. He made us, well, a lot of us go outside of our comfort zones, and the amount of times I talked about that, they already heard that so many times from me. But it's important, and it sort of showed us, even if you're not musical, go give something like that a try. And I think it helped us for house music as well.
Yeah, let's move on to that. I mean, you were the leader, you were the chief commander for House Song. How was that this year?
I would say Timmy would share the credit there as well.
Yes.
So I think with Timmy, we worked a lot after callovers. This year it was completely different than any other year before that, because this year I felt like, and I kept telling Mr. King and Mr. Hussein, this year they actually want to do it, so they properly want to do it, and there's nobody saying, oh yeah, can we leave now, after like the second time we did it. It's always, okay, let's do this, and then we're done once we do it well. And I think a big part of it was the fact that we were trying something out that nobody has ever done before, I think, which was that little mashup. Maybe a bit risky, but we were willing to take that risk, and a lot of people liked it. And I don't know, I think we as a house were extremely proud of it. I still listen to that recording. So
I think we've managed to find some of that archive footage. Is that something you might do, Ollie? Do you think in the lower six? Is that something you might do? Might lead the house?
It's something I like the idea of. Again, I thought it was really well led this year, and that's partly the reason why everyone wanted to get involved. It's something I'd quite like to get involved with, because it brings out such great house spirit when everyone does it together. And I think to be at the head of that must be quite an experience. Yeah.
And you guys came third, didn't you, this year?
Yeah.
Which I think, I mean, I'm going to stick my neck out here. I've said this before. There's always going to be a bias towards the Woodard houses for obvious reasons. And I'm not going to say any more than that, because it's going to get political quite quickly. But particularly for a boys' house to come, in third place, I think is fantastic. It's a really, really positive accolade for general singing, throughout the whole college, actually. It is a difficult thing. It is putting a lot of people out of their comfort zone. Not least the sort of crazy idea of the Glyndebourne project and what have you, but it does all make a difference when it all comes together. So let's just touch on Hilton House, because we can't leave them behind, because obviously they're, we haven't got a representative here, so we won't speak ill of them, of course. But what about the fact that you guys, I found it one of the amazing things when I first joined Ardingly, I walked down past the music school and I saw these two identical boarding houses. I thought, crikey, they're literally identical. They're literally the same, aren't they? But they're very different, of course. But what do you guys think about what is there a relationship between the two houses? Is it more a rivalry, or is it this kind of special pact that you guys have as this kind of these two houses that are obviously the same in the fact that you guys are boys boarding? What do you think, Patrick?
To me, it's clear it's a rivalry. It's and perhaps more than that, but you said we don't talk ill of them, so that's okay. But to me, getting beaten by them in any competition would be the end of it. So
right, okay. So you're quite forceful on that. What about you, Ollie? Do you have mates in Hilton?
I do have mates in Hilton. I think what I like about it is it's a rivalry between the houses, which isn't necessarily personal. It has nothing to do with the people in it. But I'm the same as Patrick. There's no way I am holding my head up after losing to Hilton in anything, because it's that, from when I very first joined, that was one of the first sort of rules you have to learn as being in Mertens. It's one of the first virtues you have to have.
And you have obviously all the sport and various other competitions, and therefore you're competing effectively, aren't you, against them? What about you, Mr. King, without being too political?
Yeah. I can't compete with Mr. Lane, can I? Um, Look, there are loads of lovely boys in Hilton, and at the weekend they all mix really nicely. So, you almost, and during social time, when they're grabbing their pizzas on a Tuesday night, you wouldn't really notice much of a difference between a Hilton boy and a Mertens boy. That said, the rivalry is important, and learning to lose to people that you're very close with, and learning to beat to the people that you're very close with are important skills to learn, and how you sort of manage those in life. So they're important. I'm being diplomatic. We want to beat them, but equally we don't beat them at everything. Although we did at the football this year and the music, but we also need to make sure that when we do beat them, we beat them with dignity, and we lose with dignity as well. I think that's an important part of education.
Yeah,
and I've got to say, the boys get it right on the whole. We both houses. So yeah, there's a healthy rivalry.
and it's great. You see the kind of weekend socials, what have you, which is a very busy thing of the boarding sort of community, isn't it? And they are very much joint affairs, aren't they? Of course, with the girls' houses as well. So that's such a lovely thing. And as you say, how many of us can? So I think that's all the questions I've got, guys. Have any of you got any questions, or indeed anything else to say just before we start this concert?
I've just got one quick point which I'd like to make, Mr. Stafford, if possible. Firstly, is our sort of collective tutor body, to thank them publicly, because you can thank them via emails and you can thank them face to face, but to be able to do it publicly is we're very lucky in Mertens, and I know in Hilton as well, that we've got some wonderful tutors who go way above and beyond what they have to. So thank you to all of our tutors. From a musical perspective, particular thanks, of course, goes to Mr. Pizzuto, who's only been in the house less than a year, but has made a serious impact on the house with not only Gents Choir that we've mentioned, but we now have a Friday morning sing-along during house assembly every Friday, where Mr. Pizzuto comes in early. So it's really special. So thank you to all of our tutors, and particularly Mr. Pizzuto and the music department for their support.
And if no one else would like to say anything, I would like to say a massive thank you to Mr. Freer, to Ben Freer, who I know has been involved in a lot of things this year, including the lower sixth bowl, but also primarily, I guess, the house music event. And without him, obviously, nothing would have been as good as it was. So a massive thank you to him.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mr. King. And I'll just re-echo your thanks for Mr. Pozzuto, who has been an absolute bundle of energy in the 2 terms he's been here. He certainly, he re-energizes us, that's for sure. And again, Patrick, thank you for mentioning Mr. Freer, who's done a lot of work, of course, as well. And I'd just like to say one final thanks as well to all of you, the pupils that have taken part. It is an alien experience. It's not like standing up in the recital room or the Mertens or Hilton's common room and playing to your peers. It's really a completely different vehicle. So thank you for your submissions in what's going to be a wonderful evening of music. Now, as you can see, Gerald's making a bid for freedom. I'm sort of reining him in here. He's just gone. Right, he's had enough. But we're at that time, so make sure you've got something to drink, something to eat. Relax, enjoy the next. I think we've got about an hour of music for you. As I said, we've got a bit of archive footage as well, so hopefully one for everyone. And we'll see you on the other side. Do enjoy. Bye for now.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. You've got my head spinning, no kidding, I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, even when I lose and winning, 'cause I'll give you all. Love me, and you'll give me all. Love you. Oh, how many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down. I'm around through every mood. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing this, ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, even when I lose or winning, 'cause I'll give you all. Love me, and you'll give me all. Love you, oh, give me all of you. Oh, God's on the table, we're both showing hearts, risking it all so it hurts, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, even when I lose or winning, 'cause I'll give you all. Love me, and you'll give me all. Love you, and I'll give you all. Love me, and you'll give me all. Love you, oh. mardy bomb, I see her frown and it's like looking down the barrel of a gun and it goes off. And how come all these words? Oh, there's a very pleasant side to you. Sad I much prefer one who just laughs and jokes around. Remember cuddles in the kitchen, yeah, to get things off the ground. And it was up and away. Oh, but it's right hard to remember that on a day like today when you're all argumentative and you've got the face on. But now they're mighty born. Oh, I'm in trouble again, aren't I thought as much. 'Cause you stand over there, pulling that silent disappointment face, the one that I can't bear. Can we just laugh and joke around? Remember cuddles in the kitchen, yeah, to get things off the ground. And it was up and away. Oh, but it's right hard to remember that on a day like today when you're all argumentative and you've got the face on. And yeah, I'm sorry I was late. Well, I missed the train and then the traffic was a state. And I can't be asked to carry on with this debate that reoccurs each day when you say I don't care. Well, of course I do, yeah, I really do. Laugh and joke around. Remember cuddles in the kitchen, yeah, to get things off the ground. And it was up and away. Oh, but it's right hard to remember that on a day like today when you're all argumentative and you've got the face on.
Here we go, Hilton gents. My challenge was to teach myself the guitar. Favourite song, which is Big Love by Lindsey Buckingham.
I cannot say, but I know you will. But you can't lie to me with all these books that you sell. I'm not trying to follow you to the end of the world. I'm just trying to leave something behind. Words have come from men and mouth, but I can't help thinking that I've heard the wrong crowd. When the water is gone, my job will be too. And I'm just trying to leave something behind. Oh, money is free, but love costs more than our bread. And the ceiling is hard to reach. Oh, the future ahead is broken and red. And I'm trying to leave something behind. This whole world is a foreign land. We swallow the moon, but we don't know our own hand. We're running with the case, oh, but we ain't got the gold. And we're trying to leave something behind. Oh, my friends, I believe we are at the wrong fight. And I did not read what I did not write. I've been to his house, oh, but the master is gone. But I'd like to leave something behind. There is a beast who's taken my blame. You can put me to bed, but you can't feel my pain. When the machine has taken the soul from the man, it's time to leave something behind. Oh, money is free, but love costs more than our bread. And the ceiling is hard to reach. Oh, the future ahead is already dead. And I'm trying to leave something behind. I got this feeling that I'm still at the shore. And pockets don't know what it means to be poor. I can get through the wall if you give me a door, so I can leave something behind. Oh, wisdom is lost in the tree somewhere. But you're not gonna find it in some mental gray hair. It's locked up from those who hurry ahead. And it's time to leave something behind. Oh, money is free, but love costs more than our bread. And the ceiling is hard to reach. When my son is a man, you will know what I meant. I was just trying to leave something behind. I was just trying to leave something behind.
Right, hello everyone. We're Hilton House and we're going to sing to you today, Rule the World Like Take That.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness stirs and wakes imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor. Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Turn your face away from the garish light of day. Turn your thoughts away from cold, unfeeling light, and listen to the music of the night. Close your eyes and surrender to your darkest dreams. Purge your souls to the one you knew before. Close your eyes, let your spirit start to soar. You live as you've never lived before. Softly, deftly, music shall caress you. Hear it, feel it, secretly possess you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind. In this darkness which you know you cannot fight, the darkness of the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey through a strange new world. Leave all thoughts of the world you knew before. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Then can you belong to me? Floating, falling, sweet intoxication. Touch me, trust me, savor each sensation. Let the dream begin. Let your darkest side give in to the power of the music that I write. The power of the music of the night. You alone can make my song take flight. Help me make the music of the night.
feat Kylie Minogue. We hope you enjoy it.
I used to rule the world, seas would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone, sweep the streets I used to own. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes, listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. 1 minute I held the key, next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle stand upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, once you've gone there was never, never an honest word. But that was when I ruled the world. It was the wicked and wild wind, blew down the doors to let me in, shine the windows and the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever want to be king? I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, never an honest word. But that was when I ruled the world. La 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 la. I just can't get you out of my head. Boy, your loving, it's all I think about. I just can't get you out of my head. Boy, it's more than I dare to think about. La 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 la.
Well, what a great way to finish the concert there with the splendid voices. Of course, we had Hilton and Mertens there singing their hearts away in the house song competition in February. And whilst, of course, we're in this period now of social distancing, I really, really hope that we will obviously have a similar event in February 21. Hopefully, we'll be able to use our spaces like we did there next year, if not, of course, before. So that's the contribution from Hilton and Mertens. A splendid evening of music. And again, my thanks to you as parents and supporters of everything that your children are doing. It takes great dedication and support and energy from not just the pupils but also their parents to enable these things to happen. So thank you. Just a personal plea from me. And what have we got for you on the horizon? Well, tomorrow evening, if you want more music, tomorrow evening, Friday evening, we will have the final prep school bonanza. It will be a concert of solo performances. I think it will be the longest Friday informal we've ever had, based on what I think the submission and entry levels are at the moment. And then next week, we have something slightly different for you. Next week, we are going back to the visiting music tutors again, with maybe a little bit of a tag towards the younger pupils in the school as we introduce and showcase a number of instruments. So as ever, you can access, of course, all this footage and various other files and performances from the Ardingly Music YouTube channel. If you're on Twitter, keep looking away there. We are introducing, of course, a daily piece. There are other articles and current issues in music which are being aired there. Of course, you might get the odd picture of Gerald, the music department mascot, if that's really why you log on to that particular site. But really, at this stage, it's my usual plea. Boris still hasn't taken this mantra on. He's still not taking my advice, but I still think it's valid. Stay safe, keep safe, and be safe. Bye for now.